Hey, Matt, we are, upon the 4th of July week and weekend and people doing some road tripping. And, we were talking about some travel hacks, and I've got a few more travel hacks. Is that cool with you?
Oh, more travel hacks with Kate. Exciting.
Yeah. Okay. So something that I have done in the past was not be prepared.
That's a good hack.
That is right.
Saves you time up front.
Right? Fly by the seat of your pants. You'll figure it out when you go, except for when you are driving and if you have a DVD player in your car like we do, and like your headphones don't work and you don't want to listen to the movie that your kids are listening to, what do? Because we can't decide on the radio. Nobody gets along. What about an audiobook or a podcast for the family?
No, if you're listening to something, it should be radio. But remind people what a DVD is.
Really? Okay. So it's a disc with movies on it, and it's a DVD player that sometimes people have portable ones, which we have, and we also have one that is attached to the roof of our car. So I take that back to the ceiling of our car, on the interior of the car.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Paid good money to have it attached, and it only works with headphones that are, infrared headphones. They're not Bluetooth, so pre-Bluetooth.
Oh, yeah.
So they are dinosaur technology, and if you play it through the car speaker, it's not that loud, so you have the speakers blaring, like all the way cranked up, and you can still barely hear the DVD player. So we've kind of stopped using the DVD player because you can't get those headphones anywhere anymore.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted because I'm too busy thinking about a DVD player strapped to the roof of your car.
I know. Some people do things differently.
With like bungee cords or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the luggage rack.
Yep. Yeah. See? Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of the DVD player, we've started listening to audiobooks or podcasts. But if you're trying to drive down the road and look for something, you can't always get what you want. You don't have what you're looking for. You should do this ahead of time is what I'm saying. So take the 10 minutes before you hit the road to look for something that you guys can all listen to as a family.
Yeah, because you want to be doing that while driving. Correct, yeah.
Correct.
Well, a lot of people, I have a data plan that's shared with my parents, Mm-hmm. It's not an unlimited deal. So for a lot of people, you got to load up ahead of time to save yourself on data overages, too.
Right. That's always helpful, and you're using your Wi-Fi at home. So.
Right. Same thing with downloading movies if your kids are rocking iPads or something in the backseat.
Way cooler than my kids, I know. But...
yeah, they got to watch a DVD player they can't hear.
Right. I used to do this more when my kids were little to keep them entertained on car trips because for a long time we've lived in our car. My kids are no stranger to road trips, but, lately, Matt, we're not going anywhere. So,
for anyone who's not familiar, Kate just moved into a new house. She does not literally live in the car. No need to call Child Protective Services or anything like that.
Correct.
Okay.
Figure of speech.
Right. Yeah, I understand, but
I know. Those poor listeners who think that I make my family live in the car.
Yeah.
So, because we are gearing up on a road trip, I was trying to think of what's something, that we can do to help with the Are We There Yet and to keep them busy, especially with the DVD player not working. And I went to the Dollar Tree and I got a bunch of stickers and small notebooks and some activity pads like the crosswords and I'm going to butcher it, Matt, Sudoku. Did I say that right?
Close enough. I'm not sure if I could do any better. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. I'm not going to even try.
Okay. Well, okay. So I got a bunch of stuff and I put them in like a little tote bag and I grabbed some coloring pencils that we've got and some coloring books. And that way we've got a little bit of a busy kit.
So your kids can do Sudoku?
Elliot likes them.
Cool.
Is that bad?
Sorry, that's something I would never envision a kid doing. I dig those puzzles. They're pretty fun.
Okay.
I just wouldn't have guessed that a kid would be into that. That's fun. That's cool.
Yeah. And Finley likes the crosswords. So
nice.
These are instant busy kits.
You got your numbers and your letters and words. There we go. Numbers and words covered here between the two kids.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Now, Finley loves to read in the car, so I'm not worried about keeping Finley very busy. But Elliot, she's my motion sickness girl. She is a girl after her mother's heart, cut from the same cloth. She gets sick in the car. So I've always had like a makeshift. I haven't had like a car sick
barf bag.
Yeah, I've had a barf bag. But I saw something online the other day about making a car sick bag, like a puke kit. And if your kid does puke, you are covered. So you've got like Clorox wipes, you've got hand sanitizer, you've got a bottle of water, you've got some Gatorade to replenish, and then some crackers in there. Also, I usually keep some motion sickness medicine on my person.
On your person.
In the car, so that if Elliot does tell me, hey, I'm starting to feel a little woozy, I can give her that. But something that I'm going to try are these, they're called motion sickness wristbands. And I've seen them at like pharmacies all over the place, but I have seen this at Dollar Tree too. They're supposed to naturally help with motion sickness. They apply pressure on you're supposed to put it on a certain part of your wrist, on both wrists, to apply pressure when you are in the car so you don't feel motion sickness. So, I mean, we're going to try that. But also you want to have a couple of like garbage bags and some paper towels and like maybe even a Ziploc bag if you have to put clothes in something. So I think I can fit everything into a gallon Ziploc bag, Matt, but we are going to have a DIY car sick bag. So that if you do have kids who deal with a little motion sickness, that'll be an easy thing to have in the car. And if it's in a Ziploc bag, it can go from car to car or however.
You can't be bothered just to have a second kit? I shouldn't say bother. I mean, that's going to be easier just to have a second kit. You don't have to worry about moving it between the two.
You probably could.
The wristband's that expensive?
No, because I mean, I have seen them at Dollar Tree, so I'm sure at Walgreens or CVS, they're not that expensive, but yeah, you could probably do 2 kits.
Do you have any other tips for motion sickness for the kids or?
Don't look out your side window.
Right.
They say don't look out your side window. Don't read. Try to be distracted. So like putting on a movie or something or a book to listen to. But so that's where I'm going to run into trouble, like with Elliot and the Sudoku. I'm not really sure about that. So I'm going to keep that puke bag handy. Something that I'm going to add to the kit that's not on here, or to have in the car and within her reach, is some sort of a container, like I don't know about a bucket, but maybe like one of those gas station cups, so that you can put the garbage, so you can put like the Target bag in the cup.
Yeah, like a 44 ouncer or something like that. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So you're not just puking into a bag. Like you actually have something to puke into, but then you have the bag protecting it. Because if you're driving and the kid's puking, now my kids are also old enough to be like, ooh, I don't feel good, and grab this stuff. But if you've got little ones, this might be easier for them to like puke into a sand bucket or like a gas station cup.
Elliot is 9, is that right?
Ellie's 9 and Finn is 10.
So
11.
too young to drive. She can't just start driving the vehicle, because isn't that the case? A lot of people that get motion sickness, if they're the one driving, they're less likely to get motion sickness. Does that sound familiar to you?
Too young to drive legally, Matt. So
fair point.
Yes, that is true, because I get motion sickness. I drive most of the trip because I don't want to get sick, so I drive most of it.
So driving, you're in control of where the car is headed, so your brain's less discombobulated in wanting to puke, blow chunks, hurl, etc.
I think also as the driver, like you are aware of what's happening with the car.
Yeah, right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like,
that's my point, kind of, yeah.
Your body can brace for that bump that you're going to hit.
Oh, yeah, right.
Versus like your passenger, so your body can adjust to like, ooh, I swerved just there, but I was ready for it, where the back seat was not.
God, I'm so glad I don't have this. That's horrible. It's like being seasick, right? It's like being seasick, but like seasickness is far more common than just general motion sickness in like a car or whatever, I think.
And I do pretty good in the front seat of my car, but I do not like to ride shotgun in the truck for road trips. I feel like the truck just kind of sways like a boat because it's so big. So if we're in my car, I do okay in the front seat. But Elliot's 9, so I don't like to put her in the front seat for extended periods of time or like busy driving, like short trips, sure, but I'm on the fence about putting her in the front seat for
It's just unsafe.
Yeah, she's 9. She is old enough to sit in the front seat. I think she's like right at the okay level of weight for the front seat and the airbags. But I mean, the longer you can keep your kids in the back seat, the safer. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. For anyone not familiar, I am childless, so I often just have to be like, oh, inform me. And if you ever think I'm sounding like a complete idiot, you're correct, or at least ignorant about it.
No.
Ignorant, at least.
But Matt, why would you know about front seat safety if you didn't have a kid?
I don't know.
So I feel like ignorant sometimes has like a negative connotation. So I don't think that you're ignorant. You just don't know.
Okay. Well, there's a difference between being ignorant and being like willfully ignorant.
True.
About things, right?
True. I'm not going to learn and you can't make me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are some travel hacks that if you're thinking about taking a trip or you've got a trip on the calendar, maybe for your kids, these will work for you.
Thanks, Kate. All right, Kate, usually you're the one that delights me with maps, maps of the United States that contain things like favorite candy by state. And I'm drawing a blank on some of the other ones. You remember some of the other ones we've done?
Favorite brunch items or favorite sauces or...
favorite drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, summer drinks and things like that. Well, this time it is misspelled words by state.
Oh.
And this is bizarre. AT&T felt the need to do this quote article, I guess. Basically, the way they did this was looked at Google searches by state for how to spell and then insert word here, right? So that's how they're finding out people's struggles with the old misspelled words. So one of the more popular ones, and I feel like this isn't the first time. I feel like we experienced stories about this early pandemic, that quarantine gives people fits. You see that map? You see all those quarantines all over the place? From sea to shining sea? I mean, they're just all over the place.
I mean, I think the funny part is how people are spelling quarantine.
Right. Corn teen. CORN space teen. And maybe you have a corn teen in your life. A kid that only agrees to eat corn and high fructose corn syrup based products or something. But that's clearly probably not what they're thinking. So they have 12 states struggle with spelling quarantine. And that's
crazy.
Leading the way, followed by favorites. Now, see, that's one where the British mess us up, isn't it?
I think so.
Okay, where they throw a U in there.
Favorite.
How to spell coronavirus, which, as in WHICH, followed by the word every, then believe, definitely, separate, 80, the number 80, spelled out at least. Receive, government, pharaoh, as in...
Pharaoh.
As in,
there's a lot of talk about pharaoh these days.
Yeah, as in a ruler of a...
Egypt.
There
land.
you go, thanks.
Yeah.
How to spell peace, as in give me a piece of pizza. Multiplication, watch, exercise, confident, and succeed are the ones. Now, the majority of these are just one state, right?
Right.
So in Missouri, the fine state of MO, quarantine indeed is the most misspelled word for the state of Missouri. In Iowa, it's favorite. In Nebraska, believe. In Kansas is the one with multiplication. People are spelling it with a Y, like multiply. Multiplication.
Oh, I was like, how are they spelling it wrong? But like multiply. Got it.
Yeah, multiplication. Not correct.
Matt, I don't want to toot my own horn.
Okay.
But
here it comes.
I feel like I'm a decent speller.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I don't get a lot of things spell checked unless I mistyped. But I have a word that I struggle with 99.9% of the time, and it is on this list. So is there a word, because I think you're a pretty decent speller, right?
Thanks. I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a word that you can think of that you struggle with that is on this list, or just in general?
I was just going to guess which one you struggled with. That's what I was about to do.
You want to guess?
But I can wait.
I don't know if I want to tell you because it's kind of embarrassing.
Is it definitely?
Have we talked about this before?
No, I'm just guessing. I'm looking at this list.
Every time I have to spell it out. Lee. Every time I spell it, I have to think of it in my brain and do it back-ass words to get it spelled correctly. So,
yeah, when they have it here, so they show 3 states spelled incorrectly, and each one of those states spells it slightly differently incorrectly.
Yeah.
So, my favorite being defiantly.
Right. That is definitely going to change your sentence.
Yeah. As far as me, can I think of any words? These ones on this list I feel pretty good about. Definitely I could see through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Looking over the rest of this list, though, I think Pharaoh I'd get okay.
Right.
Yeah, I'm struggling. I'm struggling to recall a word that I struggle with and have to think about often. But they're there. And I see them. I see them when I type. I see the underlines, or I witness the autocorrect potentially to a completely different word. Yeah.
There's a word on here that I'm surprised is not on there, because I sometimes struggle with this word because I think it's wrong, spelled correctly.
Okay.
Canceled.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, canceled.
How does canceled not have 2 L's?
Yeah, it really seems like it should. Yeah, I think that's one of mine, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely and canceled are the words that I constantly misspell. Or when you're writing and you go, I know that's spelled right. It just doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Do you ever have those moments?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, especially if you look at the word too long, it slowly morphs into something really striking. So I was looking at some of these other, there's the map, and then there's just this table that shows how many states are misspelling it. And I was trying to see which state is somehow misspelling watch. Do you see it? And this is kind of mean. I immediately zoomed into the South. I was like, maybe it's in the South.
No, they say which wrong.
Yeah. Where is it? Do you see watch?
See it. No. Is watch on the list? Yeah.
Yeah, it's toward the bottom there. There's one state that doesn't have...
One state.
Do you see that? There's one state there. See, I'm struggling with maps again, Kate, which isn't labeled. Do you see that one?
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
That is West Virginia.
There you go. Thanks. God, it's so embarrassing whenever we go over these maps.
I had to zoom in a little bit.
Oh, there it is. It's Maine.
There you go.
I got Maine correct.
Nice job.
Thanks. So Maine, spelling watch like WHATCH. So there we go. This time I bring a map. Kate, is it just exciting for you to have a map delivered to you on the show as it is for me? Historically, you have delivered the maps to me.
I love maps, but one of these days we are going to have quiz day for you, Matt. And you're going to have to tackle the Northeast.
My brain is hurting just at the thought of potentially one day doing that. Kind of have that kind of thing behind my left eye. It's like,
That's mostly where you struggle, right? The Northeast? In those little tiny states?
Oh, yeah, the tiny ones. Yeah, it's
right?
impossible to keep track of those up there. Come on.
Yeah. I'm with you. It's just between... I think where I'm going to get messed up is Vermont, New Hampshire. Those two I always want to flip-flop. But for the most part, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, I'm horrible. I am horrible at geography, for sure. Yep. Got to work it, though. Got to work on it. And for anyone that's not familiar, Kate got me a United States placemat. So it's a placemat of the United States. So it is laminated. And on one side of it, you can test yourself by filling in the names of the states. And I'm horrible.
On one side, it's black and white, and it's ready for your dry erase marker. And on the other side, it's colorful, and it's got landmarks, and it's got capitals, and it's got... Now, are you good at knowing your capitals?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm okay. But I bet you it'd be a failing grade for sure.
Well, out of 50.
I bet you I would get less than half.
Really?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Well, you would say insert name of state, and then I would go, huh. And then I'd start naming off like major metropolitan areas instead.
That are not necessarily the capital. Gotcha.
Right. Yeah, like who knows? Maybe if I grew up in a different part of the country, I would think that Kansas City was the state capital of Kansas. I don't know. But not only that, Kansas City is mostly in Missouri. Did you know that part, Kate?
It's a city so great, it went into 2 states.
There you go. Except they are indeed 2 separate cities.
They are. They blend into 2 states across state line, but definitely KCK and KCMO, 2 different cities.
So there you go. There's our lesson on today's Matt and Kate on cities.
I mean, I'd like to think that our listeners knew that about KC, but
yeah,
you never know.
Yeah. Well, when you can listen anywhere around the world, Kate, some of our listeners in like France, some of our listeners in Paris or whatever, I'd be like, oh, no, actually.
Paris.
And not North Korea, because you can't really get us there. The internet is kind of,
You don't think we made the cut?
And some other places are kind of, they censor the internet too much. But most places you'd ever want to visit in the world, you can stream the radio station, get the music and the whole shebang on the KJO app or KJO1055.com. Or you could consume the Matt and Kate podcast in your podcast player. We're also available there at KJO1055.com if you want to use the built-in player at the website. Thanks, Kate, for this opportunity for a plug on how to listen to KJ1055 around the world.
I was going to say thank you for handling that so I didn't have to, but your world had a little bit of like reverb, so I thought I'd
step out of the way of the reverb.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Bow out.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Thanks for letting the reverb shine.
Sure. I read this morning on if you want to save money on a vacation, don't let the dudes plan it.
That's fair. I don't even know if I need to hear the actual detail on this.
I don't know.
Really?
Just based on this headline, I'm like, I don't know about that.
My thoughts without reading this story, and click away from it so I'm not tainted by it, is that guys are not very good at estimating the amount of food or whatever it might be. It's the amount, the number of supplies, the things that one might need for a road trip or whatever, and then overpacks. That's my guess as to why guys should not be planning the vacation.
Okay.
And?
So, well, when I read the headline, I'm like, I don't know about that because Monty is Mr. Planner. He is Mr. Frugal. He is, let's do it this way so we're not spending as much here. And I found a greater deal.
Oh, yeah, there's always going to be exceptions to the rule.
Well, yeah, but when I read this, I was like, I don't know if I agree with this, but I'm going to look at this article anyways. 3 out of 4 Americans going on at least one vacation this summer, and almost half plan to spend more money than they normally would because, nobody went anywhere last year. So they've got some vacation money to spend. But if you want to save money on a vacation, according to this article, they say don't let a guy plan it because men are around 50% more likely to go big and overspend. And 33% of women who are planning a big vacation say they'll spend less than $1,000 on it compared to just 21% of men. And that even holds true for huge vacations. Men are twice as likely as women to plan a vacation that costs over $7,000.
Like maybe they're not good at shopping for a hotel or the best flight deal or something like that.
That's what I'm guessing. Or if there's experiences that you have to book ahead of time. That dudes are like, yeah, let's swim with the dolphins. Yeah, let's get a helicopter ride. Yeah, let's do all the things. Whereas, according to this, women are like, we get one thing and we'll make our fun.
All right, so my guess was no good. I was thinking it was a math thing.
I mean, my guess was no good either because when we got married, Monty's job was to plan the honeymoon. And he planned the honeymoon. Now, he did spend more than I would spend, but everything was pretty awesome. And I think he got a lot of deals on our honeymoon. So I think he could have spent more, but he kept it.
Yeah, I imagine if it's not just experiences, because that was the biggest thing, right? Basically, dudes are signing up for more activities that would cost money.
Yeah. Or maybe not. Maybe, Matt, do you think it's that dudes are not going like the legwork to find the deals? Or
that was going to be my other guess.
Coupon codes.
Yeah. Right. That would have been my other guess had you not said that it was because they're overdoing it on the number of activities that cost money. Yeah.
But if anybody would like to pay for our vacations, Matt, I mean, we'll accept that, right? I mean, if anybody wants to give me a paid vacation.
Yeah, I would say that's up to... we shouldn't ask the listeners to do that. We should ask management, who is clearly listening to Matt and Kate. Hook us up.
There was a company. Let me see if I can find out. The headline is company gives employees a week off to avoid burnout. So the dating app Bumble, they gave their entire staff the week off with pay so they can rest and recharge. 750 employees located in Austin, Moscow, London, Barcelona, Sydney, and Mumbai. They were all given off next week. And Bumble hopes that the paid time off will avoid employee burnout.
How nice. Basically forced vacation for everybody all at once.
Forced paid vacation. So that would be nice. Then you're not like getting emails from people at work while you're on vacation going, hey, when you get back, because everybody's gone. Nobody should be working on anything, right?
I dig it. Yeah, sure. I mean, at a certain point, don't websites just kind of run them? Like Bumble is a dating app, is that right?
Yes.
So it seems like that wouldn't need too much intervention in real time. Whereas for our radio stations to work here,
yeah, we got to stagger it a little bit. Yeah. But I mean, how intense is Bumble?
What do you mean?
Like you just said, it can kind of run itself, but how intense must it be to work for Bumble if they're like, whoa, everybody, take a time out?
I don't know. I think tech companies are just better at identifying opportunities. I'm not saying all tech companies, because there are some, like Amazon, for example, is kind of legendary for overworking not just the people in the warehouses, but the executives as well.
Okay.
But that said, I think tech companies are known for doing a better job providing work-life balance type of deals. And not only that, they're all competing for pretty smart people that can quickly leave and go work somewhere else.
True.
So that's helpful too. If job satisfaction is something that tethers you to a place, yeah.
There you go. So maybe you should throw this to your upper management at your place of business and say, hey, this company, Bumble, they did a mandatory week off. And
then your boss goes, Bumble sounds made up.
And then you say, swipe left. I don't know. Is that Bumble?
No.
Okay. Tell me more about the dating apps, Matt.
I think that's Tinder.
Okay. There's no swiping in any other dating apps?
I don't know. No, see, I don't have the experience.
Now you're faking it. Now you're trying to play like you don't know. You know.
Yeah.
Come on, Matt. You know.
Got a whole page dedicated on my phone to dating apps. Sure. Yeah, let's go with that.